What's going on, guys? ChillisFM here, taking a look at what I believe is the strongest team for the Psychic Cup. Hoopa up shields, or in the 2-shield in general, is just absolutely crazy. It only loses to 4 Pokemon, and half of them I don't see at all. It's going to be Gardevoir running Tackle, Bronzong, LGM, and Brexis. Brexis is the only one that I really do see. The others I barely see, so it kind of just sweeps if you can just save 2 shields for it, and that's what you're going to see in today's video. Now, I've seen a few other teams with Hoopa on them, and I don't like to talk smack about other people's teams, but I do think that this one makes a little bit more sense because Malamar and Claydol provide a lot of bulk, and Claydol's never really going to need shields. In fact, in the 0 shield, it only loses to 2 Pokemon, and that's going to be Malamar, which you're still going to do a ton of damage to, and Slowbro running Water Gun, so I guess Kanto Slowbro. I haven't seen that at all, so it's really just the one Malamar, which it's great to lure out anyways because of Hoopa doesn't love to see it since Malamar only takes neutral from Astonish. So this team really worked well for me. I think it'll work well for you too, but let's take a look at these battles. Go ahead and leave a like, leave a comment down below. Alright, Malamar into Rapidash here, so that's going to be one of the most common Pokemon in the league, and honestly it's one of the reasons that I wanted to run Hoopa, because we're going to be double resisting the body slams, forcing them to throw Mega Horns into Hoopa. We stay in here, we don't ever shield. Like I said, you don't want to shield Claydol. And you can see, we win the zeros here, we're going to be able to get the Shadow Ball off. Their Claydol comes in to catch, but they end up throwing up the shield anyways because it would still hit for super effective damage. We're going to come back in with Malamar, not using shields here. Again, really trusting in Hoopa with 2 shields. There's going to be some games that you see me shield Malamar and Claydol, and I'll talk about it when we get to those games. But for the main part, you're just going to want to save shields. So I do farm up a little bit extra energy there to help me reach a foul play in game, but I want to be able to also get that farm down with Hoopa before they get to a move. And in the back, going to be a Galarian Slowbro. We're resisting the poison jabs thanks to Hoopa's ghost typing. We can shield up that brutal swing. I don't really care if they catch here because they had energy on this Rapidash, or not energy, but they had a lot of health on this Rapidash. So they're gonna have to throw up the shield regardless if they want to get a move off. I think this is only body slam, but it really just doesn't matter. We can throw up the shield here, and we're going to be at the Shadow Ball, and we're going to be able to take out this Slowbro with the Shadow Ball. So Hoopa putting in a lot of work in this game, honestly sweeping the team. So that was my very first game, and I was stoked. I was like, oh crap, this thing might actually work. And then it just kept working. So into the next game, I didn't know what this had. I completely forgot what this had. So I stay in, and it's going to be Charm. I realize the charms aren't really doing that much, so I decided to go ahead and stay in, get this foul play off to pull a shield before I end up wanting to swap out. And they actually eat it, which was a big surprise to me, because now I'm going to get the Mud Slap down. They're forced to come in with their own Claydol behind energy, and at this point there's no real reason to bait, right? I'm ahead 2 full Mud Slaps, so I can go ahead and just go for the Shadow Ball here. Now Claydol is one that we don't love to have Hoopa on just because it's so bulky. Claydol actually ties Hoopa in the 2 shields if you both want to throw energy. You could farm all the way down, but you're not going to have a ton of health on Hoopa if you do it that way. So I do end up investing a shield here on my Claydol. We do take them out with the Shadow Ball there. Still have a little bit of residual energy here. I take a few charms and then I realize, wait, I got a Hoopa. I can do super effective damage with the Astonishes here, only taking neutral from the charms, and we easily get the Astonish down. So opponent wants to run a little bit of a toxic team. I'm running a little bit of a toxic team as well. So GG's, well played. All right, another Rapidash on the lead. We're of course playing it the same way. Gonna swap out into Claydol. And this game is a great example of why you just do not shield your Claydol. Now we know we would survive a Mega Horn, just barely. We go ahead and no shield, they throw the Body Slam. Great. Now I can just go for the Scorching Sands, making sure they're staying in, making sure I throw at good timing. Scorching Sands going to pick up the shield. And I'm still not going to shield. I really don't care. If you want to take out my Claydol, take out my Claydol. They bait again, and now I can just no shield this Body Slam because we're even going to survive this one. And we're going to get another Scorching Sands off. I wasn't sure if I was going to survive the Fairy Winds. It looks like I would have, but just to be safe, we're going to go ahead and just under tap on this Scorching Sands and take out the Rapidash. They're going to come out with Malamar. This one is running Psycho Cut, so they get a ton of farm here. I didn't really want Hoopa to end up on this end game, so I do stay in. Hindsight, probably could have just pivoted into my Malamar, and I probably would have been fine as long as I wanted to save shields for the Hoopa. But regardless, we are going to end up eating a Hyper Beam here. Now I'm forced to come in Hoopa, but they are pretty dry on energy. Still, Malamar does get to the foul plays in like 5 Psycho Cuts, I believe. So we are going to shield up that first Psycho Cut. Going to look for the farm down. I realize they're going to make to another foul play if I do not throw, so I want to force that final shield off of them, which we do. Tell me they're probably weak to Hoopa in the back. Not really sure what it is just yet, but I do want to shield this up. And it's going to be a Shadow Metagross in the back. We are absolutely shredding with these Astonishes, and we are just going to kill a whole horde of Metagross with the Shadow Ball. And that's going to be GG's. Well played to my opponent. Alright, moving into the next battle, Malamar up against an opposing Hoopa. A lot of the teams that I've seen with Hoopa pair them with Galarian Rapidash, which just feels so glassy to me. It feels so glassy. If you're able to make it work, then like hats off to you. I don't think that I could. And I like glassy Pokemon, but like you need shields for both of them. They're like, you can't really do anything with Rapidash without using at least one shield, and you can't really do anything with Hoopa without using at least one shield. So your third Pokemon's like always shieldless. Which they do have a Malamar, which has some decent bulk to it. So maybe that's the play. I'm not sure. I'm going to be forced to come in with my Claydol here. Yes, we're going to take super effective from the foul play, but we take one pretty well. Now, I'm not going to quite be able to get this farm down. I am going to be forced to throw this Scorching Sands. We want to throw it before they make it to the next foul play, because we definitely want to save at least one shield for our own Hoopa. In the back, going to be a Galarian Rapidash. We just want to get this Scorching Sands off. We don't really care about timing. We do get the attack drop. It doesn't really matter. I really don't think it matters, because I think this Body Slam should still KO. Body Slam comes through. It does KO. We can just come in with Hoopa. There's just one Astonish to take them out, which is nuts. And look how much those Astonishes did. Yeah, that's why you cannot be taking Ghost type damage on Hoopa or Dark type damage. You have to avoid that at all costs. All right, into the next one. Another Kanto Rapidash. What do you know? Very popular pick. They're going to come out with a Rangaroo, which is a pick that wasn't really on my radar. It's kind of interesting here, though. Yes, it's running Confusion, which is pretty bad in this meta, but it does have Trailblaze, which is nice for the Claydols. And of course, it also has Brutal Swing, which is a very cheap move, right? 35 energy. They do let me connect with the Scorching Sands there. You don't want to go Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball would be resisted here. And they allow me to get to this next Scorching Sands. And they actually don't shield, which I was surprised. I guess because they got the attack drop, they decided, you know what? We're back to our base attack. Let's just let it go. They're going to come out with Malamar. I'm going to get a ton of Mud Slap damage, and they actually let me get this Scorching Stance off as well, which I was really surprised by. However, it's a little bit scary because a Malamar with a ton of energy could just cook me. Now, they let that Scorching Stance come through too, and I get it. I get it. They have a very glassy lead. Kanto Rapidash, normally pretty good with 2 shields, but not today. Not today. We got a Hoopa. We can just go ahead and shield this once. By the way, they never really get a chance to bait with Body Slam and make the Mega Horn. So just invest 1 shield with your Hoopa. It's 99% of the time going to be the Mega Horn, which does only hit for neutral, but you can see Hoopa's not very bulky, so you want to shield it up. All right, into the next one. Malamar into a Galarian Slowbro. So like I said, I've seen the Galarian Slowbro. I have not seen Kanto at all. If you are seeing a bunch in the back, then maybe this team doesn't work for you, but I just don't see it being that good that people are going to run it all the time, unless Claydol just becomes the like #1 safe solve, which I think it should be, personally. Like, it's insane at the 0 shields. We've talked about it. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and pull the shield there. I'm going to come in with my Claydol. This is only Brutal Swing, non-stab, 35 energy move. It chips, but it's not anything crazy. It does put me in range that Foul Play will KO from this Malamar. So I am going to go ahead and go for the harder hitting Shadow Ball. And it does connect. Puts them into the yellow. After a few Mud Slaps, they are into the red. They have a lot of energy. I think they have 2. Either they have 2 or they're like 1 side wave away. So I'm going to go ahead and just let that Foul Play go. I'm going to come in with Hoopa. Go ahead and get that farm down. Of course, we will have to invest shield. Foul Play would absolutely one-shot. So shield goes up. We do get the farm down. So we got a little bit of an energy lead, and out comes the Galarian Rapidash. We've talked about it. All we got to do is shield once right here. I mean, they barely even make the Mega Horn, to be honest. So we're going to go ahead and throw up that shield. lead with a ton of energy. I have some energy on my Malamar, so I do go ahead and throw this Shadow Ball, but honestly, I could have just Astonished down. My opponent knows it's over, so they let it go through. So GG's, well played to my opponent. Alright, moving into the next battle, up against a Claydol lead. So we have talked about this. Malamar does win the zeros against Claydol. I don't know if it wins the 1s and 2s, so I just play what I know. I play what I know because we want to save shields for Hoopa regardless. So foul play coming through puts them into the yellow. And I'm going to go ahead and just let this go. I expect it to be Scorching Sands. I think they do actually go Shadow Ball. Good on them. Puts me into the red. But it really doesn't matter. We're still going to get this next foul play off, which will either threaten a shield or take them out. And they actually decided to let it go. So I'm going to go ahead and hard swap out into my own Claydol. They come in with a Chimeko. I always thought it was like chemical, but I've heard people say Chimeko. I don't know. Let me know in the comments how to pronounce it. Hopefully one of those is right. Hopefully I'm not like way off. Anyways, gonna be able to get the Scorching Sands off here after calling the bait. However, they are running Astonished. But I'm thinking, you know, 1, 2 Astonishes, I'm gonna be able to take this out. And they're gonna throw a move anyways. So I was expecting a sneak there, but we do get denied, which is pretty painful to be honest. And in the back, it's gonna be a Brexis. So even if I got the sneak, the game's just over. So yeah, Brexis in the back. GG's, right? Claydol's supposed to lure it out. It didn't. By the way, Claydol does win against Brexis in the zeros. I did not forget about Brexis. It just wins. That's the bulk of Claydol. Anyways, Brexis in the lead. Saw a couple of these. The other loss that I took was actually to a Brexis lead. So maybe this is it. I'm not sure. End up shielding up a Psychic Fangs. Yeah, so the one that I lost to, it's not this one. They threw Aqua Tail there and I tried to call it. So I showed up this one and they throw Psychic Fangs. So I actually am doing everything that I don't want to do. And I'm giving up both shields before I've even brought Hoopa out. Not a great situation to be in, but we are going to be able to connect with a Scorching Sands here and another Scorching Sands coming through here. So they're going to have to give up their second shield if they want to keep this Malamar alive. They decide to let it go. In the back, going to be a Galarian Rapidash. We need to force this thing to throw some energy, so we come in with the Malamar. I'm hoping they go straight for the Mega Horn here, and it is the Mega Horn. They are now dry on energy. I can come in with Hoopa. We should be able to get the full farm down before they make another Mega Horn, and we can farm down the Malamar as well, and that's going to be GG's. Well played to my opponent. Let's go. All right, into the next one, up against another Hoopa lead. The Hoopas that I did see were all on the lead, and Malamar's not bad into them, though. Like I said, they do win the 2s. Hoopa does win the 2s. So we're going to go ahead and throw up a shield right here. Of course, it is going to be the Shadow Ball. I'm over farming, going for the foul play here. Foul play number 1 pulls the shield. Foul play number 2, able to throw it, good timing, and throw it immediately. They should grab the second shield, but they actually decided to let it go. I was really surprised. They're going to come out now with a Charm Gardevoir in the back. Another one of these things that I'm not going to butcher the name of. So we're going to go ahead and just go for the Scorching Sands, knowing it's not like super bulky. You can see these Mud Slaps are shredding through. We get the attack drop, which is really nice. And I expect them to throw the Psyshock here. So I decided to go ahead and no shield, and they actually full send the Shadow Ball. But that's perfectly fine. Since we got that attack drop, we should be able to easily make this foul play. Okay, I was like, man, I gotta show this. Okay, yes, we showed it up. As long as Gardevoir doesn't make a move, we win this. As long as Gardevoir doesn't make a move. So we're instantly going in Hoopa to make sure we get as much Astonished damage in as quickly as possible. And there it is, the full farm down. You love to see it. So it's going to be GG's. Well played to my opponent. All right, into the next one. What do you know? It's another Rapidash lead. So honestly, we saw, like, I would consider Rapidash one of the worst leads. I saw it in more games than I didn't. We were still able to clean house, go 10 and 2. I guess really now that I've, now that I know what I lose to, I guess Brux-ish. I really can't say that name. I know someone's already like commented down below about it. I try to say it. It's just a weird name for me. Bruxish. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta slow down to say it. Anyways, I feel like that's probably the worst lead actually for this team. All right, we're going to be able to take out their Malamar there. I did go down to shield because I wanted to fight for switch. And they're going to come out now with their own Claydol. And I recognize that if I can just get this thing low, I should just win. So I just go for the Scorching Sands, hoping that they don't shield. They do shield. That's fine. I can still come in with my Malamar. Again, saving shields for Hoopa because we will have to shield up that Mega Horn from the Rapidash eventually. They make it to another move here. And I'm recognizing that I should still make the foul play, even if it is the Shadow Ball. They come out with the Rapidash. I decided to go ahead and throw the foul play because if I pull the shield here, that's still fine because I can just farm this down and make it to a Shadow Ball against their Claydol. So again, just have to shield once. There's no way that they can bait and make the move. So we shield up once. We farm down. We're 2 Astonishes away from the Shadow Ball, but they're like 4 away from their next move. And that's going to be GG's. Well played to my opponent. Yes, Hoopa puts in work. No, you do not need a second move. I noted it over there. I did never mention it. If you want to run a second move, it would be Psychic. And you could have it. It's the same energy as Shadow Ball. It's never going to be better, right? Everything's going to be at most taking neutral from Psychic, most things resisting, but it does have a small chance of dropping your opponent's defense. So if you have the Stardust and the candies and you just want to go for it, I don't think you need it. I really don't think you need it. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here. If you enjoyed today's video, leave a like and a comment down below. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to my channel members for your support. And until next time, this is ChillisFM reminding you to always keep pushing forward.